We're going to look and break into smaller groups in just a few minutes concerning practical ways forward. But since we have had 3 more presentations now, wanted to just quickly take some questions and answers for maybe 5 minutes. I see we have one here at the back.
Thank you. Hi. Excellent presentations. Very inspiring. Thank you. I'm Robert Levin of TransClick. What kind of sustainability initiatives would you recommend to scale each of these very successful pilots? For example, corporate sponsorships, joint venture with educational software companies in exchange for branding and distribution rights, microenterprise credits, or advertising revenue. What kind of models would you suggest for sustainability of these very successful pilots?
I think those are great examples you just gave, and that you just mentioned. You know, going through with partnerships and with be they for-profit enterprises or with foundations. There's any number of ways that we are trying to be sustainable with our operations, but you mentioned just a number of them that are all very good.
I would say, I mean, anything that gets the technologies into people's hands, gets you feedback to make them better, gets you a market. If you want these technologies to be available for relief and development, make them relevant to everyone's lives, even for 5 minutes a day, and you'll have a much better shot at it, I think. So.
One of the things, just quickly, from our perspective that we're doing is we're now looking for local champions or heroes to kind of help with the project when we're not able to be there on the ground. We've also looked at the training of other schools through the teachers and students that have learned the project now, so it gives them both experience in training and in also rolling out the project, but we're also considering all sorts of other options. I saw we had a second question up front here.
Hi, thanks very much. And I wanted to try to make a link between yesterday's great group work and, again, the extension of where we're going today on monitoring and evaluation. A couple of things that I was talking to Clay about yesterday. The idea that a prime minister from a country in East Asia had to come all the way to New York to see his data on DevInfo in a council meeting. And he goes back and says, I want every minister in the cabinet to have this, and we'll use it for decision making. Now, to what extent have you got tools that take the data collation, the analysis, and actually track the decision making? In our group discussion yesterday, we wanted that to be both local and global, feeding the bottom of the pyramid and also feeding the top. And it would be very interesting to know what is out there. We definitely need more tools to be able to get people to decide on the data that they're using and to be able to track that in terms of accountability.
From our project in UNESCO, we have to work very closely with our member states. So, for instance, this was shown to 120 ministers last month in the Conference on Education. It's obviously not a perfect situation because you can't keep all levels, or at least we in UNESCO have not figured out a way to keep all levels informed at the same time. So it's really going back at certain points and informing them with updates as to where we are with things. And since we've already established a relationship right at the beginning of our project with each school and with each member state and with each Department of Education, then we go in and come back to them with some sort of assessment, but it's by no means perfect, and we've got a long way to go. I don't know if you have other experiences.
Well, the data mesh technologies that I was talking about earlier really are designed to make sure that copies of the data that you want, the data that other organizations are willing to share with you and vice versa, ends up everywhere. So the ability to be able to synchronize that information to someone else at a remote location, maybe they only have connectivity for a few hours a week, but there's a local copy of the information there. That creates persistent availability of the data wherever you are. Being able to analyze that and visualize it and display it on a map locally should then be possible.
As far as the Shahidi goes, the data is as open as the software normally. Of course, somebody running an instance can make it closed if they want. But another point to make is that we don't operate off the assumption that government is good either. So we operate with the assumption that anybody can use our software, but that, and anybody can find it, but not necessarily that every government who has access to that data will do good things with it.